Alrighty, folks. Happy Friday. There's been more, I guess, I don't want to say disdain. Disdain's probably the wrong word, but more frustration, I should say, is probably the better word, with Project Motor Racing. Simply because, mainly the server issues are problematic. We all know this, but my best advice is, even for the people that are frustrated, is to just sort of hang in there. And I know saying be patient isn't justifying at this point, but I think there are good things in the future coming, and I just think it's a matter of trying to, I don't know, just sort of, I don't want to say deal with it, but deal with it, It's tough, I get it. The big thing, I think, where people get a lot of the frustration from is people do actually enjoy the game. And the thing is that if the game sucked, and it, genuinely sucked, people wouldn't care that it was problematic. They would just go do something else. But I think the big thing is that the game shows a lot of soul and a lot of fun to be had, and it sort of pulls the rug out from underneath you when you get disconnected from a server or things like that. So my best advice for that is, honestly, crack a beer, try and do your best to distract yourself from it, and try and, in the meantime, either, I don't want to say just go do something else, because I know that's dismissive, but try and just sort of fill your time with something else in the meantime, stick to more casual gameplay. I do recommend avoiding ranked right now. I do think the next coming patch for the game is on the horizon, and I would say maybe just wait and then revisit it then. Stick to casual fun in the game. Maybe hit up a couple of your buddies, play online, get some practice in. The game is still fun, and just try and not rely on the server connectivity issues that are there at the moment. That's my best advice. But I get it. I get the frustrations. I do. I am very... I myself experience fantastic nights with server stability where I can't even duplicate a single crash, and then the next night, every single game is a crash. So you don't know what to expect. It's kind of a lot like flipping a coin. Anyway. My best advice right now is to, I would say, just sort of chill out, have a beer, relax. If worst case scenario, you can't play the game that you want to play right now, then just sit chilly. I get it. I get the frustration, But anyway, I don't want to harp too much on that. That's not why I'm streaming today. What I wanted to stream today... By the way, how's the volume between my voice and the music? I'm just in cruise control volume right now. I'll turn it down a little when we're getting a video game playing. But the point of today's stream, and by the way, there is a a poll going on right now for what you want to do for open lobbies tonight. I will happily host open lobbies in anything. I shouldn't say in anything. Primarily the 3 right there. Right now we're at 75% PMR, 8% RaceRoom, and 17% AMS2. Anywho, the point of today's stream is I want to offer constructive criticism for what I would like to see the ranked play sort of evolve to for maybe like say a 2.0 of the game. You know, right now I'd say it's a pretty good 1.0 release for ranked, ignoring the server stuff. I'm talking about just the actual gameplay and the way the system works. It's a good 1.0. It has its problems. Like, for example, I think some of the better races are too far apart. But I think every sim kind of does that in their own sort of way. You have to save the best races. Like the MX-5 race is the most common race. iRacing, RaceRoom, PMR, they're the more lower barrier of entry, so they need to be more common. I fully understand that. But what I want to do today is I want to jump into RaceRoom and kind of compare it side by side with PMR. I'm going to do a little bit more RaceRoom driving today. Because I think what RaceRoom is doing right now, for me and my style, and I think a lot of people will agree when they watch, is kind of doing the more optimum thing where they're giving everybody their cake and allowing them to eat it too. I'm a sprint racer. I've been very vocal about this. I don't like endurance racing. And there are people that are the polar opposite. And I don't think that either one of us should be favored in the ranked space. I want, me personally, short, fast races. And I want my ranking to be built off of that. I want to get in there and I want to do 15 to 20 minutes of the fastest pace possible. Now, obviously, you don't want to have accidents, but the idea is win at all costs, get there as fast as possible. Endurance racing is to take your time. You're not going to win in lap 1. Just go slow, go steady, and eventually you'll win the race. You know, obviously you want to be somewhat aggressive. You want to place. You want to get in front of the pack. But it's a very different style of racing. And I think RaceRoom, let me just say, from a fundamental standpoint, iRacing is the best when it comes to ranked play. It has many other flaws that keep me from playing it, but its general core ranking system, I think they've had 18 years. 18 years to get it dialed in. So there's no denying it is the best. Give credit where it's due. But RaceRoom is a lot newer into the competitive ranked play system, and I really think that it really works for the casual. It really works for the diehard, and I think it kind of covers everything in between. And I kind of want to show the PMR world and possibly the developers, if they're listening, what I think it could potentially evolve to from say a 2.0 style ranked. Anyway, let me see here. Let me just look over in chat here. I can get the poll out of my way. Why is this not working? I would literally like there it is. There we go. Okay. Happy Friday, AJ. One thing I want to see on PMR is the touring cars from RaceRoom. That may be in time. I'm focusing more on the actual style of their ranked, or I should say the delivery of ranked, less so than the actual content. Let's see, there was only 3 of us on last night. We tried to join a ranked room, and 2 disconnected, and I was the only one that made it in the room. I did a few laps, retired, and got 95 points. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's got its share of problems, without a doubt. And there's no denying that. There's no denying the frustrations, which is why I have not dabbled much in ranked play myself. My whole thing is, I get that competition drives a lot of people, and so ranked play is the competition. Whereas me, I'm a bit more laid back with it, and it keeps me from playing ranked play and suffering the wrath of just the entirety of the broken server system right now. Ace Racing rocks, rock and roll. Yes, sir. Yeah, ranked is running thin. Seemingly only the GT3 MX-5 races that are generally populated. Well, GT3 is always going to be most populated. You'll see that in RaceRoom as well. it's the most popular form of racing on the planet right now, especially from a sim racing standpoint. GT3 is the most inclusive form of racing because it's relatable. Every car in it is relatable to a production car, whereas hypercars, F1, things like that, nothing about that is relatable to the average consumer, which is why it's not as popular. Dummy says, my issue is that one day you are cool with the game and the next you snap at everyone, dev mods, community. The game hasn't changed, just chill and wait at the end of the day. I mean, yes, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think everybody gets a fair shake at having one, you know. I don't agree with every take, but, you know, I also don't think people should not have their opinions either, you know. Volume's decent, got it. When you had a PC, RaceRoom was your preferred game so far, or by far? Yeah, I think it's dialed, I'll say that. Always found the payment system in RaceRoom a bit strange. Yeah, I mean, it's... If you find that strange, you'll find RaceRoom... I mean, iRacing's to be mental. Because, essentially, RaceRoom is just a turned-down version... or a dialed-back version of iRacing. Problem is the PMR world is mainly console. And that's fine, though. I don't think the diehard sim racing needs to be specific to a certain... I play primarily everything on PC. I grew up playing on PCs, but I've also had every game console ever made because I don't think that one is fundamentally better than the other one. I think if you're ignoring the cost, PC is obviously better. But you can't ignore cost when you're talking about reviewing something from a playable standpoint. At the end of the day, my PS5 Pro is less than 1/3 of the cost of the graphics card alone in my PC. You can't compare them. Anyway, real quick before I lose this screen, this is just the current ranked screen I'm on here in RaceRoom. 14 players in DTM, 120 players signed up in this GT3 race, 14 in the Tatis, which is the one I'm going to be doing first, by the way, which is like F4, essentially. But you can see, GT3 is the dominating race across sim racing. Anyway. Yeah, I wanted by me saying showing you RaceRoom, I'm not saying show you RaceRoom so you go play RaceRoom. I'm saying show you how another sim that's established is doing ranked and how I think personally ranked should be, and maybe PMR will take some pages from the book of RaceRoom in terms of how they deliver ranked in the future. That's my point of comparing it and showing PMR players what could be, you know? Because I think this does a very, very, very good job of balancing the people like me and the people who like endurance racing and giving them both a place to play the same game in the same room. Console is like a knife, PC is like a Swiss Army knife. I would say a PC is more like a Swiss Army katana. It does do everything better except cost. But there is nothing a PS5 does... Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes game development goes in the favor of consoles, and day one support of the game does play better on console. That is a very, very accurate thing about where console has an advantage. But a month or two into the life cycle of a game, there isn't any disadvantage to a PC. But anyway, let's jump into RaceRoom, and I want to give you guys an idea of how the ranked play works. So, on this screen, actually, let me get rid of my face here so you can see the full screen. So, let's bounce out of this and we'll just jump right into multiplayer. So, the UI thing, PMR can do their own thing. They should do their own thing, completely separate. Ignore the UI, more so focus on this delivery of ranked. So, we'll pop into multiplayer. And you've got daily races, weekly races, and special events. Right now, there's no special events. There was a special event last weekend, but they, too, had server problems and had to cancel it. So anyway, you've got your daily races, which every week new daily races come in, as you've seen across GT7, PMR, whatever it is you're playing. Every week, the races reset. So we'll jump into daily races. You have sprint and you have feature. Feature is another term essentially for endurance, which, mind you, they're not crazy long. They go up to a half hour. They're 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and the modifying of the cars is open, right? Sprint is fixed setup, 15-minute races. And in this one here, look at this, 123 players. Now, mind you, they're obviously not all in the same race. That's being divided amongst different races. But you've got here GT3, this is your F4, WTCR is another kind of car, Super Touring, DTM 95, MX5 Cup, you know, and then you kind of have the same rotation of races on repeat over and over and over again. Then when you jump into feature, these are spread out a little thinner. You have DTM 2020, Porsche Carrera Cup on the Nordschleife, DTM 2020, etc., etc., etc. And it's usually, let's see, what do we got here? Two races, actually, sorry. 2 races on a cycle back to back, right? And these are your more endurance-y races. Now, what I would like to see PMR pick up from this, essentially, is have a section for sprint racing and have a section for endurance racing. You can call it feature, you can call it endurance. I would like to say call it endurance, just so there's less confusion. What makes an endurance race a feature and sprint not a feature, you know? But I would like to see this style sort of brought into PMR. And then they also have, now again, there are obviously much more pressing matters with PMR. So this is not like, do this next week or you guys suck. That's not what I'm saying. This is like what I would like to see it evolve into, something similar. Obviously, everybody has their own sort of artistic style, their vision, if you will, for what they want their game to be. But it's okay, in my opinion, to borrow from other sims. At the end of the day, everybody has their vision, but it's okay to realize sometimes other people's aspects of a vision are just better. And maybe it would be a good idea to implement that into your vision, you know? So, weeklies are weekend events, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they're different events, and they are far longer. For example, Friday, today is Friday, jump in here. So at, well, this 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you have these races that go for 45 minutes. They are open, they are not fixed, and they're on Watkins Glen. This is probably a great race. GT3 on Watkins Glen for 45 minutes. Now, I'm not an endurance-y guy, but if I was going to do an endurance race, I would be on Watkins Glen over Monza 10 out of 10 times. But Saturday, GTE and GT4 on the Red Bull Ring. 60-minute race, 3 of them. Then you've got your Sunday race, 992 in the BMW M2. 45-minute race, 3 races again, same time frame. But I think that this is a very, very, very simple system that could work very, very well in PMR. Because again, as you saw the other day, there was a bit of a, not like a aggressive debate, but a friendly debate on endurance versus sprint. And the reality is, it's very split 50-50 on what people like, sprint versus endurance. So, in my opinion, if you want to gather people to play the game, this is one of the areas where you kind of have to give everybody their own slice of the pie. You know, give the sim racers their give the sprint racers their place to have their fun, and give the endurance racers their place to have their fun. You know, and the great thing about sprint races is you can still, as an endurance racer, jump into them and not miss out on, say, your endurance race that you're signed up for. There's a lot to this here that I think would really benefit everybody, and it's something I would like to see implemented. I think RaceRoom does this really well. I think that from a simplistic standpoint, it's way better than iRacing. iRacing's, from an overall standpoint, is the best, but jumping in, like, okay, I got an hour to play today, right? I'm not a streamer. I'm just a guy jumping in here, and I got an hour. I want to have some fun. I don't want to think about sitting around and watching a clock. All right, I jump into my dailies. All right, I have a minute to get into DTM 2020, which, by the way, is GT3. WTCR is in 6 minutes. Super Touring's in 11 minutes. DTM 95 is in 16 minutes. Then the full-blown GT3 race is in 21 minutes. You know, and there's 25 people registered for that. 23 people registered for this. Point is that I have an hour to play. Okay, cool. I can get in possibly 2 races. And what's great about this, too, is this little feature here. You don't have to guess what races overlap. Right here, if I highlight this one, all right, I know that I can't make the 4 underneath it because the time overlaps. But I can jump into this race and still make this race. But if I jump into this race, I know I can't make the 3 below it, but I can jump into this race, right? So it's very simple, but man, is it convenient. And it's why I really, really like the ranked play in this game. And then here, you can either have all, or you can just remove the endurance races, or you can remove the sprint races. I just think that this is a very kick-ass style of presenting ranked, you know? And I don't think it adds any real complexity to it from a programming standpoint. Obviously, when you're, you know, if you're short-staffed and things like that, and you have a lot of other things you have to do, this will take a backseat. And I don't honestly think that right now ranked play, in terms of its layout, should change. Obviously, I think everybody at this point can agree the most important thing is server stability, which is why the patch hasn't come out yet. You know, they have things that they can change in patches that they could just release, and it will fix certain bugs. But it isn't going to fix the bug that is crushing the player base, and that is server stability. The same thing that affects the online casual lobbies affects the ranked lobbies. The disconnects, the way you see the random disconnects happening, leaving cars on the track, creating obstacles to drive around, creating potential damage to your car if you're unable to avoid them, people not getting into lobbies. These are all stemmed from the same problematic server stability. This is why they keep putting off the update, because they are trying to just crush these problems. So I understand the frustrations, but what if you had to pick right now, do you want a patch to come out a week ago that might have fixed some of them, but ultimately got you right back to where we're at right now where no one's playing it? Or delay the patch, take a small hiatus from the game, and maybe release a patch that heavily focuses on fixing that? Because what you see, if you actively pay attention to Steam numbers, every time a patch comes out, you get a server spike, or sorry, a player base spike, and it jumps up for at least 48 hours, and then falls back to pretty low numbers. Now, that's obviously just Steam, but you can imagine the same thing is happening on console, just an overall higher number. So if you can get the server stability issues fixed, you're going to see the patch spike go up, or the player base spike go up, and then retain people. That's the idea why this needs to be the priority fixed in PMR. I would love to see all the other bugs fixed, but I would love to see ranked play make a little bit more sense, something similar to RaceRoom. But until server stability is there, none of it is relevant. Server stability is 100% priority, which is why the patch hasn't come out yet. So that's where, like, I understand the frustrations, but I sit my opinion right in the middle of everybody's. Because I get all of it. It's all warranted, and I'm trying to exercise the most unbiased standpoint, and just understanding everybody has their opinion on it, and that no one is right or wrong. People are forming their own conclusions based off of their own experiences. And you can't rule anybody's experience out because it's their experience, you know? And I can tell you that I've had some phenomenal nights in the game where I'm like, this is the greatest racing experience I've ever had. And then I've had other nights where I'm like, I'd rather just go do anything else. I'd rather go play RaceRoom. I'd rather go play AMS2. I'd rather jump on iRacing As much as I hate the iRacing racing, I know that it's not gonna... I know what to expect, you know? I don't know what to expect with PMR. Best online lobby options is EAWRC. You can make a custom lobby and put together a custom championship, and it keeps track of points and everything. You can cherry pick status and class alternating. Yeah, there's no doubt that I would like to see a much more intuitive online, especially custom lobby setup with PMR. There's so many features that I want. Like, I mean, I want, like right here, you see fixed. I want a checkbox, fixed or not fixed. You know, it's very easy to implement. I shouldn't say it's very easy to implement. I'm not someone who programs, so I am not coming from any point of experience with that. So ignore me saying that it should be easy to implement. It could be very hard. I don't know. But I feel like it would be easy to add that checkbox in. Now, I just know that their priorities are not on features right now. It's on fixing. But things like that, you know, the ability for the host to kick out a shitty player. Not a shitty player, but just a malicious player, I should say. They should add a section in the social race where you can type in a code to join a racing league and they just have a post schedule. That would be a little bit more harder to implement. Not a bad idea, but definitely I wouldn't expect that to be any level of priority, you know? But like I said, I understand the frustrations, but I also think that the people with the frustrations need to pull themselves back a little bit and go, all right, maybe I should reevaluate my own, how I'm spending my time with this game, you know? And maybe go that, because, like, I see guys getting stressed out. And it's like, I understand why, because they're, like, they're putting pressure on themselves for their own reasons, and that this is the game that they've chosen. And at the same time, it's one of those things where you know what the game is right now. So until an update comes out, you can't keep putting yourself through the stresses of trying to hope that you have a good day. So if, like, for the console player, if going back to Forza or going back to Gran Turismo, while it might be like, oh, I've been there, I've done that, I get it. If you feel obligated to sim race, to stream, whatever it is you're going to do, you at least know what to expect from them. You don't necessarily know you don't know if you're going to have a good day or a bad day on PMR. So wait for the update, the next one, when it comes, and see if that now gets it to a more structured, stable standpoint where, okay, now I can play this game every day. And the only problems I'm going to have are with players, not the game. I feel like the game has my back, not it's a free-for-all, and you never know what's going to happen on stream today, boys. You know? So I get it all. And that's why I'm trying to sort of pull myself out of having any level of opinion and try and understand that everybody has one and everybody's is valid. Now, that being said, hey, look at that. My package from Amazon that hasn't shown up it's been out for delivery for 4 days, is actually 10 stops away now, so maybe I'm going to get it today. Anyway, so let's see what we have available here. Let's just reset this, even though I'm pretty sure it rotates or it rolls on its own without me. I really want to do the F4 cars. I'm not going to lie. This is somewhere that modders for PMR have a very, very good opportunity to create some classes that are very desirable to play. For example, if you guys pay attention to my Discord, or in general, there's a lot of games I want to play that aren't PMR because they offer things PMR doesn't offer. Formula cars in general, and I don't mean modern day F1 cars. I think modern day F1 cars are the most boring versions of F1 cars. The 90s cars, F4 stuff. There is so much fun to be had in other sims, and that they're just not in PMR. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not blaming PMR for that by any means. But I'm saying from a modding standpoint, I'm just saying, if modders can give me a reason to not go play other games, well, you know. All right, so, in all of my ramblings, The next Tatis F4 Cup, which is just the F4 stuff, is a wee bit away, I believe. Go to Sprint, because that's what I want to do. I guess we can jump into the GT3, which, by the way, guys, full disclosure, this game is very hard. I think it's some of the best driving I've done in Sims, but it's been around a while. So you can see it actually right now with PMR. When I first started playing PMR, just from my experience racing other Sims, I could get in and clean house. There'd be one or two guys that were faster from time to time, but for the most part, I could get in with almost no experience and beat everybody. Now, I mean, I'm barely above the bottom 50% in terms of winning. There are guys that have gotten very, very fast, and there's a lot of them now in PMR. So, we're talking 2 months of the game existing. These games have been around this game's been around since, I think, 2013. So when I'm going up against these people who are playing this, these guys have been playing this game the whole time. I am screwed. I am not good. So I am going to run the line. It's going to piss people off. And just know, I don't care. If I don't know the track, I'm going to run the line. Because I look at it like this. Is the line immersion breaking from a realism standpoint? Sure. But you know what's more immersion breaking from a realism standpoint? The fact that if I move my eyes from my screen, I'm in a room. There's no cars. There's no movement. There's no risk of death. So the line isn't really that much of a distraction. However, the benefit of the line for me, I'm not going to win any of these races. But where the line really does help me is it helps me not hit other people. Because, hey, I can see the little warning above or in front of me, and there's a car in between the warning and me that says, you might want to get on the brakes when you hit this warning, so I'm prepared for it. Because if not, if I don't know the track, and I wait for someone's brake lights, and I'm maybe a car to a car and a half behind them, and they brake before me, I cannot react off of that and not hit them. So trust me when I say the line is actually better for everybody else, more so than it is for me. I'm using it to play defensively and not ruin races for other people. So if the line truly pisses you off, in my opinion, it's time to look in the mirror and realize you should have more important problems in life than if other people on the internet are using an assist built into the game to assist them. That's all I'm saying. Reevaluate, let people do their thing. And also, if you tell me not to do something, I'm objectively going to do it. I'm a petty person. Anyway, it's on you, modders. Agreed. RaceRoom is better. RaceRoom got the better drivers. It for sure has the better drivers, and it is more polished. There's no denying that. But from a standpoint of time, it's also got a massive advantage in time. I have used a lot of the cars in this game, and believe it or not, I am the biggest fan of the old AMG. I like the way it drives. And this game has a very, again, this will come in time with PMR, but a balanced BOP. If you're racing a fixed setup car, it's a lot like Gran Turismo, where the style of the car is sort of matches with your driving, and you choose them based off that. No car is just faster than the other one. It just, whichever car fits your driving. Like, for example, in PMR, I have found no Porsches that I like driving. In Gran Turismo 7, the RSR was my go-to GT3 car. And honestly, the Porsche is my least favorite in every other sim except apparently Gran Turismo. But one thing I do 100% disagree with a lot of what I see said about PMR is the saying that people aren't going to come back to it. There's no point. It's too late. That's the part that I just disagree across the board. I 100% think those people are wrong. This game, PMR, could literally die today, 0 people playing it. And they just go to work behind the scenes. No patches for a year straight. Nothing. Release a 2.0 version of the game. If it's good and doesn't have problems, open the floodgates. People are storming back in because people want to have ultimately, yes, people will complain about things, but at the end of the day, people want to have a good time. And if no one's going to objectively avoid the good time because a year ago they said the game was dead, they're going to come back and they're going to play it. The amount of games that have made comebacks should be proof enough that that still continues to exist and will never go away. The only way, to this point, PMR can completely fail is if the game itself does truly get abandoned by the company, by Straightforward, which, as of right now, it's full locomotive steam ahead. So, you know. Anyway, let's do some driving. All right, let's warm up. Oh, that was already way too much of a downshift. By the way, I have 0 experience on this track outside of setting that lap time. One feature that I do like about this, and this is going to be hit or miss too, is the need to not necessarily qualify every single race. For example, this game logs your fastest lap times. Your fastest lap time is your permanent qualifying time. So every qualifying session, you have the option of trying to decrease your overall lap time to qualify better, or just using your default lap time as your qualifier. And that's how it places you in the race. I really like that. Now, not a lot of people will like that. I have learned, and at least when it comes to sim racing, I am very much a minority in how I look at a lot of things. Also, how are we doing on that poll? Just a reminder to the guys watching, we're streaming later tonight. We're doing custom lobbies and something. It's either going to be this, PMR, or AMS2. I have yet to figure that turnout from a consistent standpoint. And clearly, at one point, I did it a lot better. We found a little bit of time right there. Be more aggressive on the throttle. Up. Knew it. All right, get the idea. All right, so let's get out of this. Register. Oh, okay. Daily races. Sprint, GT3, got 2 minutes. Let me in. Let me in. Where's his car? Register. See right here, though? Improve qualification. So this is something that I really like, too, because, again, I'm not competitive. I'm just a casual. My ultimate goal, no matter what, is to have fun. There's a lot of fun in competition, for sure. But I never want competition to be the dictator of what I do. So for me, as someone who is, you know, more casual, I love the fact that it just, right here, your current best time, minute 34 seconds. Minute 34, 33.32. It saves that forever. So that will always be my qualifying time for this race with this car. So I don't have to sit there and go out there. If I'm having, like, whatever, a bad day or I can't put a lap together in qualifying and I can't get back to my time, I don't have to worry about that. I'll get placed where I should get placed from, like, my skill set standpoint. And then I race, and we see what happens. Not a new game, Matthew. It's actually much older than PMR. We're just doing some, I'm going to spend a little more time in RaceRoom today for today's stream, the daytime stream, but we're also going to jump in PMR and try out some of that ranked as well. I would like to really compare MX-5s as well. So as far as which game for open lobbies tonight, we have 25 votes so far. We're at 60% PMR, 20% RaceRoom, 20% AMS2. Also, guys, if you don't mind, please like the stream. If you like the stream. Don't do anything you don't like. Or I should say, don't do anything you don't want to do. But if you like the stream, you should like the stream, because it does help. YouTube algorithms are evil. They are designed to keep you from growth. Nope, didn't mean to do that. I'll take my hoodie off quick, because I'm going to get warm real quick here. All right, join server. Just a shameless plug, you could try out the MX-5 Plus mod on PMR. I will happily do that. In fact, I'm actually going to give you probably a couple dedicated streams on all your mods, because you're my guy when it comes to the modding, and I'm the one putting pressure on you right now to give me some badass F1 cars. So if we ever have a falling out, I won't get my my F1 cars. So, you know, I have a bias. Just kidding. All right, so one thing that's, since we're gonna give its credit, we should also criticize. If you go to car setup here, I don't know what's happening. I'll be completely honest with you. There we go. Whew. Thought we were getting a crash. I'm like, Jesus, really? So if we go over here, right? Steering angle, 640 degrees. Oh, you can't see it. 640 degrees. I have to manually set that every time on my wheelbase to the car, or else it's not one-to-one and the cars drive wonky. That's something I do not like about RaceRoom. That is something I've seen specific to RaceRoom. What's going on, JD? Whoop. Wasn't quite sure we were going to exit. I don't know this track at all. Nothing beats leaving a pit at wide open throttle into a hairpin turn. And also another thing too, guys, I always highly recommend too, mixing up your games. In general, whether you're streaming or just playing them, you really should mix it up. You should never put all your eggs in the single one basket. For everything, for every part of life. If it's streaming, you don't want to relegate yourself to one game. Because what happens if that game fundamentally ends one day, and now you don't have a game anymore, and your audience is gone? You need to build your audience for you, not the game, you know? So it's always good to have like an arsenal of things you like to do, which is why Forza Horizon 6 is going to be in my arsenal of games that I play. There are going to be stream time where I dedicate to an arcadey-ass Forza Horizon 6. And I'm probably going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to in no way give me the same feeling or sensation that PMR or RaceRoom or AMS2 will ever give me, but it doesn't need to. I have those games for that. Never put all your eggs in one basket unless it's Easter. Exactly. But 100% mix it up. And if we're gonna ignoring streaming, ignoring any kind of level of content creation, whatever it is, you're just a guy who wants to play video games. Or girl. It's good for your own brain to mix it up. Because every game, no matter how good or bad it is, will piss you off at some point. So it's good to, like, for example, for me, like, mind you, I'm kind of checked out of all shooters. I just can't. Even when the game's new, I get frustrated too quickly. I'm just not into shooters anymore. But still, like, me, my real, true video game, like, where I'm the most content, the having the most fun, the most engaged, the really, really good single-player games. Story-based games. Alan Wake 2, Claire Obscure, the games that are, you know, that I shouldn't say don't win awards. They absolutely win awards. But they are a love-or-hate type game. They're not for everybody. That's where I'm the most happy in video games. But sim racing, from a multiplayer standpoint and a competition standpoint, is hands down my favorite. Hands down. I have spent a fair amount of time in real cars, and my professional life in motorcycles, and I can tell you this, I have no interest in playing Ride. Any of those, any motorcycle game, any motorcycle sim, because, let me tell you something, there is nothing realistic about Ride. Nothing. For me, Ride is Need for Speed, but with motorcycles. And if that's the case, I'd rather play Road Rash. This guy in front of me is on a pad. You can see his front end twitching back and forth. Look at. I'm gonna pretend that was a photo finish race and I just won. Anyway. see. I'm down for some lobbies later, of course, if I have the game. PMR. Always been a Forza fan until the past couple of years, but Horizon 6 looks good. I'm hoping that the team that was picked up from Motorsport puts their bit of skill set into Horizon to where it's not going to feel like a sim, no matter what. But the driving is going to be better than Horizon. That's a lie. The arcadey stuff, like the off-road stuff and jumping, that stuff I really like in Horizon. But like the race car stuff or the street car stuff, I hate. Nothing about it resembles even remotely anything close to what would be some level of realism. So I'm hoping that gets sort of dialed in a bit more. It's still going to be an arcade game no matter how you slice it. But maybe. So yeah, look at this. I'm 2.3 seconds off the pace on a fixed car setup. I'm telling you guys, people in this game, they're up there. Also heard that Horizons is firing shots across GT7's bow marketing department using new Toyota GR GTS cover car and some country center. Yeah, I'd ignore all that stuff. Harry Desi, I'm taking a break from PMR playing Cyberpunk. Exactly. Go play Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's awesome. And guess what? Cyberpunk was garbage on release. Complete, total disaster launch. Any disaster you think that PMR has been, Cyberpunk crushed it in spades. And now the game is still fragging. It's sticking around and it's not going anywhere. I will say, if Forza Horizon feels like Gran Turismo 7's driving, that's a very good place for that game to be. Very good place for that game to be. Now, here we go. Good luck to me, because I'm going to need it. I knew it. I'm like avoiding the pack behind me. I love online racing. It's so reckless. That's why I laugh when people talk about AI being bad. It's like, have you played online? Have you played online in any sim? Guys, this sim... Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Good. Put me in last place. At least it'll be safe. Go ahead. Go in front of me, Lambo. But anyway, it's like the guys who complain about AI. It's like, have you played online? Because AI is way better drivers than every human being online. Case in point. This game has been around for 13 years. And that was the experience right there. Why? Why are you gonna... Why slow down, wait for me, and then hit me? You guys are seeing this, right? And this is a real sim. Look at these guys. I'm just trying to survive. I couldn't care less what place I come in. Why going so slow, bro? There's... Guy's getting on the brakes hard and in a spot you don't even touch the brakes. You just let out, you just coast right there. The Lambos. First of all, I think they're like all Lambos. But second of all, Jesus, guys. Is it your first time? Like, I feel like a professional who plays this game every day by comparison to the people I'm racing right now. See if I can get this Lambo boxed in here. Nope, got out. These guys are proving to be annoyingly difficult to get in front of, even though I could clearly outrun them if I had open road. Bruh. Like... Dude, I'm telling you, man. What? I'm gonna get disqualified from being hit by people. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. You cannot sim race online and not have this experience. It's very easy to bust, you know, PMR's balls about the player base and stuff, but I have had cleaner, better races on PMR than every other sim. More consistently. Like, I'm trying to drive honestly right now, and it's like a game of soccer or football, depending on where you're from. Like, where is he going? Where is he going? Anyway, I am having fun, believe it or not. I might not sound like it, but I'm enjoying myself right now. I don't disagree with that message. You're all helmets. I don't disagree. It's honestly all the Lambos. Oh, too much throttle there. That hurt me. Raider Racing's got a good lobby, yeah. But like, this is my first real race on this track, and I've only done a couple qualifying laps, and yet I feel like I am out driving just about everybody on this track. Maybe not the front of the pack, but majority of the pack is slowing me down from my own lap times. All right. We're back in top 10 where we started. Just think, all the driving we just had to do was to get back to somewhat where we were in qualifying because of that first chicane. Sim racing, boys. Sim racing. Like I said, I am having fun regardless, though. It's important to, like, be competitive, but also not let it dictate the fun side of things, you know? And I'll admit, I absolutely let it get the better of me all the time. But I actively try not to. I think that's my new personal best. All right, one more Lambo down. Hey, it's an AMG in front of us finally. Rhode Island originally, yeah. I do my best to act. These guys are fighting. Look at this shit. Thanks for the free, you know, positioning. I'll take that. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I actively try to not let my accent build its way through, because I know everybody likes to say tomato, tomato, but unfortunately, that's just something people say so that people tell you to accept how people are. The reality is, accents are all wrong. There's one right way to say every single word. Everything else is incorrect. People just have, it's been built into just accepting it, because it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. But, you know, you ever hear of a California accent? No, because everybody there, for the most part, speaks correctly. Rhode Island's got an accent, Boston's got an accent, New York's got an accent, the South in general's got an accent. The amount of Southern dialects is crazy, you know? But look at that, though. We drove our way back from 18th place to 7th. With almost no experience on this track. Still had fun. Still had fun, even though I raced with, as the EU guys would say, a bunch of knobs. But I can't complain about that. I don't know what I started in. Can anybody remember what position I was in before I got lost in that death cane? Yeah, 133.2. Man, look at these guys at the front, though. They're flying. Mainly the 131s. Those guys are moving. Like, look at the back of the pack, though. 149, 138. So let's see what my results are, how much that hurt me. Oh, that actually only helped me. I gained a position. I started in 8th, got punted all the way back to 18th, and then drove my way back to 7th. But my rating went up by quite a bit. My reputation went up quite a bit. Well, I shouldn't say quite a bit. And actually, it was still the best when I started. I've only gone backwards. All the red is all the times I've gone backwards. But, yeah, I really like the ranked play in RaceRoom. I think it's the best ranked play, next to iRacing. But iRacing is so complex, I don't recommend it for a game like PMR. This is the race I want to do, too. These cars. All right, let me go back and read some comments, because I missed some here. I missed a lot. Jesus. All right. Baron says, good afternoon. I just wanted to apologize for a mistake. I mentioned a YouTube channel when talking about the AC Evo situation. I was wrong, and Road Rash had a great soundtrack. Fun game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm hoping it's more sim-like in that aspect. Yes, this is RaceRoom, JD. Saying Forza Horizon 6 is aiming for GT7 Forza Motorsports type driving. I'm saying I hope that's what they're doing. They're at least targeting that. I don't know what they're going to do. None of us do. None of us can play the game. But I really hope that Forza Horizon 6 gets away from a lot of the driving dynamics of Forza Horizon 5 and sort of embraces a bit more of the motorsport style of driving, where it's a bit more aimed towards realism. It's not going to be realistic, but it's aimed towards it. If you give me a Forza Horizon with Motorsports 6, I'd be happy with the game. I agree. I very much agree. Very much agree. Yes, they eliminated motorsport altogether, and the remaining workers that they didn't lay off got brought on. So realistically, as long as they have a good consultants, people that come in with experience to tell people what to do, and they just don't know how to code. Hopefully that'll be nice. Yeah, exactly. So, like, for the console guys, it's going to be really good to have a game like a polished up PMR and a Forza Horizon 6, where, like, Forza Horizon 6 never going to be a simulation, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a lot of fun. So you have your diehard, console sim racer, which is going to be PMR in the long run. Because ACC's peaked. It's done. It's never going to get better. PMR only has to get better. It can't get worse, let's be honest. It could get worse, but from a player standpoint, it couldn't get worse. But I think, let's hypothetically say they fix the servers in the next patch, and then they can get back to, because here's the thing. It's been pretty much all hands on deck for servers. Fixing that problem, because that is the problem that needs to be fixed. Once that's dialed in, then they can shift back to, all right, let's add features, let's fix other smaller bugs, let's do this, that, and the other thing. And then I think that game's got a good direction to go. Pair that with Forza Horizon, and now you've got two different racing worlds that you can just have a good time in and split up, And yes, that was definitely RaceRoom for me. Agreed, should be able to join open lobbies. And I think both PMR and LMU can be very serious. And they can both be casual. Well, actually, it's a lie. LMU can't be casual. It's focused on... But you have to understand, though, too. It's so hard to compare any sim to any sim because of how long... No sim, not a single sim ever has launched and been good inside of 6 months. Never. Ever. So, I think a lot of console players especially are kind of getting the Band-Aid ripped off as to what sim racing is like in the early stages, and that's why PC players are just not playing it. They're not complaining about it, they're just not playing it. Because they have other sims they can play. They go, okay, well, this isn't here yet, so we'll maybe come back to this when it's better, Whereas the console players don't have that dynamic of, I'll just go play something else. They come from Gran Turismo or Forza. Although Forza, this recent one, was a rough start. But the point is that they come from playing a game that just works to experiencing what sim racing is like. And it's rough, guys. It's rough. I just feel like PMR wants me to have fun and LME doesn't care if I'm having fun. Well, neither one of those, in my opinion, makes it serious or not. I think, I come from racing in real life where it's both fun and the most competitive it can be because my job quite literally depends on results of racing. But I wouldn't do anything that wasn't fun. But I do think LMU would grow as a game as well if they introduce some level of sprint racing to it. I know they're going after endurance racing. That's their shtick. So I don't expect them to ever implement sprint racing. However, a little slice of the pie won't hurt. It'll bring in a lot. It'll bring in guys like me. I'll throw LMU into my rotation if I could get some sprint racing going on. You know, I know they're not going to do it, but the point is that that's what it would take to get me into LMU. But I still wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. I think a big thing about what you have to understand with sim racing too, AJ, is that are you on console or PC? Because sim racing career mode is very different from Gran Turismo single player. So I don't think anybody who is expecting a Gran Turismo style single player is ever going to be satisfied by a sim racing career mode. Just my opinion. Why do you think people are so upset about AC Evo? Because AC Evo promised something along the lines of Gran Turismo, and they just took it away. I'm still going to play AC Evo. I'm still going to give it a fair shake. I'll never not give something. I mean, I already paid for it, so I'd be stupid to not. I already paid for it. I bought it on the principle of the single player. I can't get a refund, so I'm only hurting myself to not play what I can't get my money back for. So I might as well play it. Oh, shoot, you know what? I got to make sure my steering ratio is right. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, 340 degrees, so watch. I got to boot up this. Go over here. Switch that over. And now we're one-to-one. But like, to me, this is stuff that I cannot get in PMR. That I really think the modders should focus on. Eagles, I'm looking at you. Whoa, did not know where that pit was going. I should probably not book it out of pits I don't know where I'm going, huh? Can't quite do that out wide open. Close, though. Oh, nice stutter there. One thing about RaceRoom. It has stutters, and I don't know what it is. Single player, online, doesn't matter. It is an always online game, which kind of sucks. That's where AMS2 is king there. Don't forget, guys, submit your vote for the poll. PMR, RaceRoom, or AMS2. I know every console player is going to say, oh, Jesus. Every console player is obviously going to say PMR. Whoop, almost screwed them up. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to yield to someone who is in the same class as me, that's on the same lap as me. Ever. I am taking the Sunny Haze approach there. Don't ever ask me to give up position. Oh my god. You can earn it though, which you're about to because I suck. My only problem with F1 cars from a driving standpoint is that I underdrive them religiously. So if you go up against someone who's got a real amount of time in F1 and anything, F4 through 1, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. That turn, I gotta chill out on that turn. I gotta brake way harder on that turn. All right, it is what it is. Yeah, crossplay is what life should be, in my opinion. 38 votes, PMR 61, RaceRoom 18, AMS 221. But the thing though is that I do these polls for a reason. Because let's just say hypothetically that the only reason PMR wins this poll is because of crossplay. Well, from a streaming and engagement standpoint, it doesn't matter. That's the game to play. And I have fun in all three of them. You know, the major, obvious frustrating part about PMR is the servers. But outside of that, I have fun in all three. I can't complain about all three, or about any of them in that sense. I'm also interested to see what Rensport teased. I don't know if anybody saw that. Looked like an older classic car or something. I think after this race, I'll jump into some PMR ranked and see what we got available to us. Unless we have an MX5 race available to us. If we can get in a quick MX5 race, I'll do that first. Then I'll get in PMR. It really does suck because I can't pick a game that I like the best. I have to pick a certain car and experience in a particular game. That is what I like the most. Because I love Group 5 in PMR, I hate Group 5 in this. They're dull and boring. They're fantastic in PMR. So this game has almost no Group C. Group C in PMR is amazing. PMR has no F1. This game and AMS2 have some amazing F1. And full disclosure, I want every sim to succeed. I don't have like allegiances or anything like that. I want them all to do good. I at the end of the day, when it comes to sim racing, I put myself first. I want to have as many good experiences as possible. So, if me helping in any way, a dev can get a game to a better point that I can have more fun in it, that is my reward. Watkins GT3, 45 minutes on the hour. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll say that. Well, absolutely. The more modern a car is, the less I like them. That's why I don't like GT3s. They're boring. These F4s are like go-karts. Not knowing this track, though, is not helping my case with these cars. Remember, I'm trying to solely drive defensively. Not ruin anybody's race. So far, this lobby's a little cleaner than the last one. Oh, thank you. I absolutely love Teslas. Not as race cars. All of the motorcycle stuff that I do, you think I have any assists on? They're mechanically removed. I can't put any level of assist on. You know, my Busa, I've been 230 miles an hour on my Busa. It's got one brake rotor, no ABS, no level of TC or any kind of management whatsoever. I'm gonna race something, that's what I like. I don't know if anybody watched the video I put up today, but case in point, people don't know how to drive, at least from a dead stop, any car without TC. They just stay in the throttle and spin down the road. I am so slow in this right now, it's not even funny. Oh, I did it again. Oh, this turn crushes me on this track. I don't know why I do that. See, that's the thing about a fast Tesla. Is you pulled weight out of it and overcharged the battery. That's it. That's your race car. I mean, that's not a race car. I would love a Tesla, not for racing. I might be the slowest person on track in this car right now. I'll be interested to see the end of race lap times. I'm pretty sure I have the slowest laps. right here. Brake hard. There we go. Yeah, you did what I did last lap, buddy. Alright, based off of your performance, I might not be the slowest on track. Can't park there, buddy. Oh, got stuck into the gutter. Or curb, not gutter. Not bowling, Evan, it's racing. Oh, Jesus. Alright, just take the lane. Just go. I'm slowing you down and it's actually annoying me. Just go. Just go. I don't like you being behind me. One of these times I'm going to brake too soon and you're going to take me out. I just can't. Why can I not remember this turn? Yeah, I really got to study this track in a car like this. Because I know I'm doing way too much braking, way too much... I'm just driving it all wrong. I feel like I don't need to be around cars to know that I'm driving this all... Like, right here. I know that entry was wrong. I just know I'm driving everything about this track wrong right now. Now, bring me on the Nordschleife on this car. I'm going to tear you up. But... on this little guy, nope. All right, remember, Evan. On the hot brakes hard here. Oh, look at that. Seems like every lap that turn gets someone. That was terrible. That felt like an okay lap. Still not good, but not horrible. Some of these sweepers, I gotta figure them out. Just about all of them, I should say. Ooh, locked him up there. "44 votes are in." PMR's in the lead, RaceRoom's in second, AMS2's in third. Yeah, I will say you have to play them both side by side to see the difference. Oh, I almost did it again. Where you really notice the difference, though, is the car models. Like, really, really see the difference. But the driving is the giveaway. Driving is totally different. Totally different. There's no doubt that LMU right now is the most popular game to play from outside of iRacing. It was iRacing always, from a sim racing standpoint, not including the mainstream like arcadey type games. Obviously, Forza Horizon 5 beats all of them combined on one platform. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's the way it is. But from a sim racing standpoint, iRacing then LMU are the most played. But believe it or not, as much as I like the driving overall better in LMU, I would rather play iRacing. Variety speaks to me, and LMU has none of it. I know, Kai. I don't hate iRacing, but the few things I don't like about it, I hate. I hate. But there is so much good about iRacing. I just can't get... Oh, son of a bitch. Why? What is wrong with me? Why am I stuck? Like, go, buddy. Go. Like, for me, if I can have the same experience, like the same car, the same track in RaceRoom or AMS2, I'll do that 10 out of 10 times over iRacing. Because both games drive better. And at the end of the day, if you don't like the driving, well, then who cares about what's in the content? I don't like the simulation. The biggest red flag about, for me, that LMU when it comes to console is going to be a dumbed down version, kind of like ACC is. Is that it's not going to be cross-play with PC. Like LMU, it's weird. LMU is doing very good. But from a me personal standpoint, LMU is doing nothing to entice me. Literally nothing. I'm actually surprised more games don't do subscription model stuff. Shit, the most popular sim racing games right now have subscriptions. Clearly people don't know how to vote with their wallet. They vote with they vote... Wow. Clearly people know only how to vote with their wallet and not their mouth. They'll say one thing and do another. You're never going to get away from subscription models and egregious pricing when they're the most popular ones. That's why, like, here's the thing. LMU, iRacing, RaceRoom. Although RaceRoom, I think, is the least egregious of the three, will always be reasons why games like PMR will never be problematic from, like, how much they cost. Because the money I've spent on PMR pales in comparison to what I spend on everything else. Mindless consumerism. That is, in fact, right. You think the RAM prices are going to stop people from building computers? It'll stop like 1% of them. People will still pay the prices. They don't care. Perfect. MS5. Oh, it's on Interlagos, though. My least favorite track of all racing. I hate Interlagos. But it's MX5s, though, so... they're slow. Maybe I won't hate it as much. You don't have a lap time yet. Let's go get one. I don't see iRacing ever going to console, though, so... I just don't see it happening. You can't go by the amount of people playing iRacing, because this is what matters. Right here. You're looking at Steam numbers. Oh, looks like I got an update. Probably should have waited for this. Hey, Kai, since you pay attention to iRacing a lot more than me, what am I getting updates on right now? Is it a new season or something? Or do they actually make some good changes? I think I know the answer to that. Do the cars have grip yet? That's like all I care about in iRacing. If the cars don't have any level of grip, then I don't have any level of interest. Really that simple. The GR86 is the only car I like driving in iRacing. It's the only car that makes me go, yep, I believe this. I believe what I'm doing right now. Oh, there's the noise. I like that it makes a noise, by the way. RaceRoom always makes the join sound. Like, yep, hey, your lobby's up. Like an elevator sound. Bing! Yeah, the problem is that it's too ridiculous when they're cold. If you ever look at a corner, you die immediately. It's true. Right, let's see if we can get this finished before I start this race. No. So what do we get in the update here, Kai? You haven't told me. I want to know. So anyway, right here, AJ, this is the number you got to look at. 15,964 people online right now. This number is not shown in Steam. So you would add Steam to this number. Or maybe this number includes Steam. But either way, this is the amount of people in the iRacing app at the moment. So as you can see, iRacing is still crushing everybody. Like Studio said, if it went to console, it would be a complete monopoly in sim racing. Complete monopoly. I'm going to try racing this car with my Formula wheel. This might suck. What are the new cars coming? I don't even want new cars. I just want new tires. This car is so slow I can race it through the pit road. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, you know what? I gotta also change the steering angle. Forgot about that. I think I have way too much steering angle because it's on 340. So I'm actually understeering. That's what's annoying about steering angle. I'm turning the wheel what I think is normal, but it's actually causing the tires to massively understeer because my little bit of turning is actually making the tires do this, and now I'm just locking them up. So, hold on. First, I got to see what the car is. Car setup, 604. So then I got to go to my app. I'm on 340. I got to type in 604. So my little bit of turning I was doing was washing the front end out. All right, let's see how that goes now. See how it feels now. Better. Feels shitty, but better. God, I hate Interlagos so much. I don't know why this track is so popular. Oh, man. Oh, my God. This is gonna suck. I hate this track so much. In fact, this is how I feel about it. I don't even care. Alright, let's switch over to PMR. I don't have the patience for the slowest car in the game on the shittiest track. PMR gonna PMR. EJ, if Jester is still on and you are streaming at the same time, we all should join up together. Yeah, I mean, I'm down. It just depends on what we're doing. We like different kinds of racing, I'll say that. But, I mean, I'm never against doing that. All right. Let's see where we're at for ranked. Not a lot of people, yeah. 6 people in this race. There were 2 in the GT3, and that was it. Unfortunately, studio, there's just not enough people to implement stuff like that yet. I would say fixed setups before that, before cockpit only. But there's just not enough people to divide the player base. They need to get people playing the game again. What is actually the not that it matters, but $60 people on PC right now. See all that flickering? That's only going to be there in lap 1. Right there again. Oh, I forgot about my tires. Oh, well. This feels so weird on a Formula wheel. That's so unsatisfying, I'm not gonna lie. So unsatisfying. I want to see an explosion. I'm gonna switch up wheels, though. Ugh. Let's see. So let's see. We lose this. We go roundy. Now we feel right. I can't wait for the Zeus wheel. God, you can tell that I stream and I talk a lot because this thing is covered with the spatter of all the debris that comes from your mouth when you talk. I'm gonna have to clean that. Pretty gross. Is it a lawnmower I'm driving? What do you mean? Alright, we gotta check out some of your mods too. So we're currently running at 57% PMR, 21% RaceRoom, and 21% AMS2. The gaps are closing. Listen, I know people want to see PMR. A lot of the people who watch me are on PMR. But if one of those games overtakes PMR, that's the winner. So keep on voting, folks. Keep on voting. We got 47 votes in here. Keep on voting. I'm going to have a different vote every stream. Or a different poll, I mean. Alright, let's fix these tires quick. There we go. Let's get the gloves on. Because, you know, it's not real without gloves. I do need to get a smaller size of these, though. These are too big. But I don't care. I'm a pro. Doesn't matter. Without voter ID, you don't trust it? Nice. Man, you guys drive around me. Why? So slow. I don't think I made contact there, by the way. I didn't get any feedback like I did. Ignore it. It's fine. We're fine. We're good. It's crazy the pace that people put up with these cars, though. I do need to get the right setup on this car, though. Yeah, that's their mainstream now. It's fine. It's fine. Guys, this is fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Told you. This is a shortcut. Totally fine. Oh, you're gonna give me a slowdown penalty too? Go fuck yourself. I'll be honest with you, I really don't want to do this. Be completely honest with you, I really don't want to do this, which is why I'm kind of driving half-assed right now. But I said I would. I have no interest in racing MX-5s, man. Especially on Lime Rock. Where was that guy going? Yeah, I'm good. I just don't want to do this. You can't make me do things I don't want to do. I couldn't care less about ranking. What I care about is just doing something I don't want to do. I really don't want to do GT3 on Spa either. The only race I want to do is this, and it's too far away. This is what I'm talking about, though, with like the ranked. Like, I just don't want to play ranked in this game. Yeah, see, like, all of that stuff right there. There's a very easy solution for this temporarily. Fix setups. Not like, don't take away the ability for people to mod the cars, but fix setups in, like, especially ranked right now would just fix this stupid, oh, look, I have a super hack setup right now that doesn't make any fundamental sense, but I'm putting 15 seconds a lap on you. You know? See what these MX-5 pluses are about. Oh, game's crashing. Oh, did it crash? No, it did not. It just decided to be something special for a second. I have not driven the Praga yet. Is this anything special? Wait. Eagles. What is this shit? You made the V8 make the least amount of power? And the VTEC has the most? You biased son of a bitch. This V8 should have at least 450 horsepower by today's standards. Alright, we're going to try a K-Series out on the Nordschleife. That's duh. Duh. You already know the V8 should be the fastest one. Just Google Monster Miata. They don't have VTECs. They all got V8s. That's weird. What? They do whatever. Third gear just wasn't working on the H pattern. Now it is. So far, this does feel pretty good, though. I'll give you that. It's definitely a lot better than the regular one. This is a fun car. A lot more fun than the regular MX-5, that's for sure. Oh, shit. See, now if this was a V8, I could just hit the throttle and do a little 180. Alright, let's try this. Oh. Oh, VTEC. Hold on, you gotta drive it like a VTEC. That's how you drive VTEC. Say what happens when you don't drive VTEC right? All about that rev limiter. Oh, Jesus H. That wasn't the right shift. Hold on. There we go. Whoa, whoa, mamma mia! What? Where am I? This car's got some suspension on it, doesn't it? This is a trophy truck or a Miata? Damn it. Alright, let's try the V8 quick. This song works perfect for this. I just gotta turn it up. There we go. Let's get us out there. Oh, shit! That came out of nowhere. Yeah, see? Can't do that with no VTEC. Might have slower top speed, but I enjoy it more. I think the next car in my life that I ever build is gonna be one of these. This setup, though. Some variant of LS motor inside an MX-5. That's what I want for a race car. Something with no assists, an H pattern, and a lot of V8 horsepower inside a light chassis. So I can do this in real life. If I create a quick custom lobby before I get off, would anybody want to join up? I will say this, Eagles, you got a good sound. You picked a good sound for the V8. You can just give it 100 more horsepower, though. I'll be your best friend. Why can't it be faster than the VTEC? Listen, no kid growing up goes, I want to grow up and buy a VTEC. No one says that. BOP, Shmeop. But I get it. I get it. What I would, if I could make a recommendation for BOP then, since obviously the V8's got more torque, torque will only get you moving. But this thing's going to top end like a turd by comparison to the VTEC. So maybe make them make similar power and supplement the VTEC with gearing. So have far more aggressive transmission ratios and higher RPM to supplement the lack of torque. And the V8 will have longer ratios with less RPM because it's got the V8 torque. But here's the thing, if you're gonna play the whole, like, what it costs to go fast thing, then just buy a motorcycle. The average 18-year-old will never lose a race to a car. Unless he goes and finds the right car. Any recommendations for 1,000? What's your price point? And what years you looking at? That was almost cool. Well, I will say, CBR 300 is going to be a very, 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 very different experience to a 1000, even an old 1000. So it depends on. I would always recommend new. $2,000 to $4,000 for a motorcycle to buy it outright. You're going to buy a problematic bike. I would use it as a down payment, provided you have good credit. If you get over a 10% interest rate, don't do it. V8's fun. V8 was fun. The VTEC's definitely the faster car, but the V8's way more fun. I'm a dumb American, though, so take that into account. What I want to build for my next whatever you want to call it, real life race car would be this ideally right here, but I would probably build some level of LS motor. I'd probably want like a 450 to 500 horsepower V8, a naturally aspirated, inside, you know, this car, wide body, as wide a tires as front and rear as possible. It would be more like a kit car than an MX-5, but still, that's what I'd want. I want something that has no assistance, aggressive gearing, H pattern with a clutch. Probably go with like a T56 Magnum transmission. Probably along the lines of like a 373 or, depending on the rear end, I guess, 355 ratio. I'd want the car to top out at probably 160 or so. Maybe 170. But I'd only care about setting the car up to work as efficiently as possible. But probably that 160 range would be good for a top speed in 6th. But very, very fast ET. Yeah, for sure. Just want to waste my time with the 600. I'll be bored quick. I mean, here's the problem with horsepower. Horsepower is another drug, and you very quickly get used to it. There is no production motorcycle on the planet right now that I could get on and not be bored. They're all way too slow. My own motorcycle that I've been 230 on is way too slow. And the first time I ever rode a 1000, I was like, I'm never going to lose a race in my life ever again. It took me 3 races, and I lost the race. So, it's never enough. In that sense, it comes to first of all, Josh, how old are you? That's a big part of it. Well, it depends on what you want the bike for. If you want a street bike to street ride, but also be a good track bike, go Gixxer. Gixxer 1000. If you want a pure track bike that you can also street ride, go KTM. KTM is going to do nothing in a straight line by comparison to the Gixxer. They are two completely different bikes. CC is almost irrelevant in motorcycles. The only thing that makes CC relevant is World Superbike. And that's the reason why they're all $998 or $999. They can't go over 1,000. Let's just go max grip, see how it feels. Let's try it with none of this first. Let's just see what it feels like in a totally raw state. Alright, so that's what it feels like in a raw state. Alright, so let's add one thing of TC and one thing of ABS. that's not enough. Alright, let's run it on its default, 8 and 8. See how it feels. My TC light on my wheels blinking the whole time. Oh, yep, there's that. Who did this car? The modder? It was pretty good. I actually like it better than the LMDHs. It's just smoother. This feels like it was built off the Valkyrie or something. Still has oversteer like a crazy mother. Alright, so you know what? Since we know it's got oversteer, like a mad lad, let's do this. Vehicle setup. Just max it out. See how that feels. Cycle the tires again. Also go to this. Let's max this out. Alright, let's get rid of some of that oversteer. Oh, Jesus. She's a wide car, I guess. Oh, it's here on launch? Jesus, what is going on? Alright, let's try this again. The cars just snap oversteer, man. They just check me out. I have to build an entire car to make it not do that. Just make it not do that out of the box, and we're good. Have you modified these anymore, Eagles? Like, did they break any different, or are they still the same ones that I test drove before? You just gotta underdrive it, Josh. Can't brake late, can't downshift late. You gotta do it all early. Let's drive it in its native state first, see how it feels. But I do recommend the Gixxer over the KTM for a street bike, for sure. Nothing wrong with KTM, they're just more track bikes. It's like someone's got the Coyote in this. Whoa, 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 okay. Alright, alright. Alright, let's play around here. See if this helps us at all. Not a whole lot. Oh! Wow, this thing's got some ridiculous force feedback, I'll say that. This almost broke my arm. From a curb. At 0 miles an hour. Wow, this car is ridiculously hard to drive. I don't think the downforce did anything. Whoa, why? What? All right. But yeah, as far as the horsepower thing, and like it being too slow, or that's never going to not happen. You drive it enough, you go fast on it enough, it's always going to feel slow. So like if you had to guess, my Busa is naturally aspirated. No turbo, no nitrous, no nothing. What do you think, how long do you think it takes to go from 100 to 200 miles an hour? I don't know if anybody pays attention to any level of... This car is way too hard to drive. Way too hard to drive. At least for my patience level right now. Alright, let's jump at my GT1s here. Three seconds, no. No, absolutely not. That's way too fast. 7 is accurate. Three seconds from 100 to 200. Think about that for a second. So like a stock 1000 will do it in about... Shit. I don't even know. Slow. Oh, hold on. I gotta switch the wheel again. I can tell you, fully set up, full bolt-on, maxed out to the gills 1000 with just a stock engine, essentially. With heavy weight reduction and stuff, we'll do 100 to 200 in like a good running one's like 10 to 11 seconds. Stock, they're probably like 20. Jesus. I gotta learn how to drive a lot of these cars. Alright, let's regroup. Let's regroup here. Oh, you know, let me go back to the pit actually and adjust my tires. God, I can't wait for this bug to be gone. Cannot wait for this stupid tire bug to be gone. We're just going max downforce. Always max downforce. I don't care. Let me just say this. My boost is under 400 pounds. My boost is 378 pounds. And my 10's lighter. And my 10 is almost heavy by comparison to a lot of the other guys that are willing to ruin their bikes. I can't drive any of these cars right now. I can't lift off oversteering like... That was almost my shoulder. Christ, I have no idea how to drive these cars. Alright, so it's pretty clear I have some work to do with the modded cars. I've crashed every one of them. The MX-5s, the class, those were fairly easy to drive. There's so many cars in this that need work. I don't want to do that race. Don't want to do any of these races. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real enticing ranked stuff for PMR for me. There's nothing that makes me want to try it. Yeah, you gotta get on PC. I mean, console's great and all, but I've been gaming on PC my whole life. I don't know what I would do without one. This is me on my 10 versus a very, very fast 2025 Ducati. So we're on board the Ducati. It's a new one. 2025 Ducati V4. Single rotor, lowered, full bolt-on, tuned, all that jazz. But stock engine. Both these bikes are stock engine. This is me on my 10 right here. And my 10 is it's a bit of a mutt, but it started as a 2016, but... I don't think there's any speedo displayed here, but... This is a 200 mile per hour run from him. Here's what it looks like from my angle. Oh, shit. Where'd it go? What is happening? It's just, like, broken. Why, when I go full screen, does it do that? Alright, I guess I can't go full screen. He's not so much lazy on the hit as that is just what it is like to do what I do for a living. My bike's just that hard on the leaves that aggressively. Yeah, I tune them. I tune bikes. I build and tune them professionally. That's what I do for a day job. Like, for example, this is me and my buddy's Busa. New 2022, full bolt-ons, a little bit of motor work. This is me on my 10, and I just tell him to take off, and I chase him down. This is the difference, though. Not really much of a race. All right, let's do a race here. Chris who? CM? That's where people go when they don't know better. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see. I've never driven this before. Literally ever. We're gonna do it. It's probably gonna be our last race of the day, but we're gonna do this. I've never driven this car in this game before. The Cup car. So we're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, that's his thing. He's very much shifted his... He's sort of cornered the market from a influencer standpoint. He's a great drag racer. One of the best. But you know the speech I give about the drivers and the riders? How they're good at that and not the other things? At the end of the day, you wouldn't bring Max Verstappen an unassembled F1 car and tell him to build you an F1 car. You wouldn't do that. You'd bring him a finished car and tell him to drive it. And it's like that across all motorsports. Period. Guess I could... No, I can't qualify. Never mind. Let's see. Where are you from again, Josh? Prefer the engine sound on a car than a bike? Yeah, I mean... Bikes are a much harder sound to really get people in, because like most people think bikes all sound the same. They don't, but you know, when you don't know them, they tend to all sound the same. While this race loads, let me find... Like right here. This is a 315 pound. Yes, I did not missay that. A 315 pound Gixxer 1000. He's about 170. I'm about 185. My bike's 378 pounds. This is me on my Busa. And that runs about 205 to 207 GPS on my end. But if you're ever bored on Instagram, look up Two Wheel Monster. That's who that was. Thirty-four seconds. Don't channel. Alright, so we're looking at for 56 votes for tonight. 54% went to PMR, 20% to RaceRoom, 27% to AMS2. I'll say this, if we somehow do get a patch on Monday, tonight will be the last time we're streaming PMR until then, obviously. Oh, shoot. What's the, gotta remind myself. But yeah, I was 185 pounds in that race, and I'm about 145, 150 pounds right now, so. Bike's the exact same. I haven't touched it. Don't care. Sim racing's more fun. But, like, the thing is you see all the drama that cooks in sim racing, especially around PMR right now. I can assure you, there's a reason why I'm keeping myself away from it. I got myself involved, like, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever that was. And not even that involved, but I got pulled into it to the point where, like, okay, I'm good. But the world that I come from is 100,000 times worse than what you've seen in that Discord. What's a good looking car? Not gonna lie, I'm liking this guy right here. I mean, there's not a whole lot of them that I like, but we'll go with that one. Yes, it's extremely toxic. All racing is. So is drag racing. Rarely do you find a community. Like, I know hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people in the motorcycle racing scene. I would say less than 5 are my community. Gotta make sure I get the steering ratio right first. 540. See how this car feels. I've never driven this before. Oh, yeah, turn it on. Oh, stuttery stutter. Car's got some pretty aggressive brakes. Or either that or it's got some really sloppy suspension. Because the nose takes a dip at like 50% braking. I hate this version of the GP track. It's like the super short one. Fine. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. Guys, it's fine. I don't know what you're panicking about right now. What you're panicking about. Why is this car so bouncy? Ah, Porsches, man. That's a huge clutch thing that, what the mother... This car is ridiculous. It gets airborne off bumps. Of course, this is also an open lobby, so I guarantee you a part of the problem is I'm running a fixed setup. Or a default setup, I should say. When you should probably... Look at this. Look at this. But yeah, assists on a keybind is nice. See? That car looks rough. No downforce, huh? Oh, I was front. Never mind. Max that out. Let's see how it is with what should be minimum engine braking. Jesus H. Mary. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. this car is kind of torture. Oh shit, I'm out. I'm just not. I'm good. I don't know why I signed up. Now I know not to drive that car. Now I know. This is the part where I don't know what to do. We'll try this one out. I'd like to get one more race in before I get off here, and that whatever that was that I was just in was not it. Be right back. Alrighty, we're back. I'm gonna run outside and get some more of my aluminum profile that showed up finally to finish the stability of my rig here. Hello, Jamian, if I'm saying that right. Thanks for joining. Wow, a lot of variety here. I don't know what should I go with red? Red and white, red and white. Red and white, 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 or red, white, and a little bit of yellow. I think I know I want to go with red and white. That feels like the right call. Yeah, you agree with the white and red one? Me too. Glad we came to that same conclusion together. Great minds, you know? Yeah, I'm a big fan of the, what do you call it? The shifts that come through the force feedback. That's something very unique to this sim that I really, really like. Every time you shift, it rumbles your wheel. Gives you feedback. Really cool. I appreciate that, 1914. Thank you. All right, what the 405. See how good a force feedback multiplier is on the fly? It's coded into PMR, but it's just not able to be used for some reason. It doesn't seem to work. Tough ass track. Certain small tracks I'm like really, really bad at. For the race, I don't feel like this. So, what's the decision for tonight, boys? It looks like PMR is it, based off the votes. What about the current viewers? Only one you can play. I always recommend learning how to tune the cars yourself if you want to take it seriously. Because everybody's setup is always going to be a base setup for you. No one's pre-made setup is going to be perfect for you because of driving styles, everything. Not to mention the game constantly changing. That's why I've not gone down any level of real interest in setups yet, because I know every time an update comes out, cars are going to change. You know, next update, cars are going to change. Can't say which ones, but cars are going to change. Oh. Yep. Fixed setup would, like, put it this way, I could tell you this. My lobbies, my custom lobbies, if they ever introduced fixed setups, will always be fixed. Always. Yeah, I could definitely see your point there, Eagles. He's referring to the GT4 F1 pack. Yeah, Eagles, if I were you, I would absolutely hold off. That's all I'm going to say. Track is making me literally dizzy. This is supposed to be a pretty popular class. I'm honestly just kind of not seeing it. These Super Tours, people like them a lot. I don't know, they're just sort of... like mid-sized sedans with a little bit of horsepower. I don't know. Not really my cup of tea. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like not even... I was barely touching the brakes. Barely touching those brakes. Oh. Good. We're done. Oh. Yeah. Some races are just not for me, and that's one of them. Like, I'm just driving it to get to the end, not really enjoying it. Like, the GT3 race was fun. I enjoyed that one. The F4 one was fun. That one and the previous Porsche one was... Yeah. When cars are, like, overly too punishing to drive, I'd rather drive something else. There are some cars that are punishing to drive that there's, like, a certain art to enjoying them, like the Group C stuff. But, some cars are just... There's not a whole lot of reward, even when you figure out how to drive them. But... That's going to wrap it for me, guys. I'm going to call this one a little earlier. And then we'll be back on tonight. Looking like PMR. For another casual open lobby stream. 11 o'clock tonight, though, boys. Not earlier. 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, folks. Let's see. That was primarily RaceRoom today. We had a couple fun races, a couple not so fun races. But I do like their rank system. In summary, by comparison, I think that would be a very good system for PMR to introduce for, say, like a 2.0 update to the game. But in the meantime, I'm most likely going to be sticking to the open lobby style of streaming when it comes to a lot of... Primarily sticking to comparison testing stuff. And then open lobby related things, custom lobbies, whatever you want to call them. Because I have very little patience for ranked. Like, they have to be really good races, or I just don't. I won't do ranked races for the sake of caring about my rank. I'll do the ranked races because, oh, this is a good race. I like this kind of race, this dynamic, this car, this track, whatever it is. Like that last one I just did, the Super Tours on whatever track that was. That was putting me to sleep. Putting me to sleep. Same with Interlagos and the GT1s. I love GT1s in PMR. I hate Interlagos, and it's 20 laps of it. By about lap 10, I'm like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Anyway, folks, 11 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you tonight. If not, I'll be back on Monday. Until then, hope you all have a good day.